Imagine living the rest of your life worrying and caring about what others people think. I don't know about you, but for me, it doesn't sound very exciting. Actually, it sounds the other way, very constricting. And what happens is that a lot of us, we've been living our entire life based on what others are going to think of us, their judgment, their criticism. We try to play small, we try to not make a move, try to not make a sound, because what if it upsets people? What if we get negative flashback? Have you ever done something or wanting to do something, but then you stop yourself because you're like, what's my mom gonna think if I do that? What's my dad gonna think if I wear that? What is my boyfriend gonna think if I go like this and do it that way? What are these people gonna think? And I want you to tune into this notion of why does that matter? And you might be thinking like, well, of course it matters because like, what if they make me feel bad and I'm gonna be sad about it? But I want you to go deeper than that. Do you matter? Do you really feel that you matter? Or are you gonna tiptoe around your life and allow other people to dictate what you can and can't do, what you should and shouldn't do? And this is something that I get asked a lot in my private coaching when we do sessions where we talk about clearing out the outdated energies, because we all want that, right? We all want to let go, we always want to clear, and we always want to be like doing the things that we want. But when it comes down to it, there has to be a certain sense of power. There has to be a certain sense of personal power that we must possess. Because otherwise, that we wouldn't be strong enough to say no. Otherwise, we wouldn't be courageous enough to think another way. Because here's the thing. When we were growing up, of course, we have to look outwards for approval because we only knew, it's like when we do these funny things as a child, our parents are like, ha ha ha, so funny. Then we immediately linked it to, wow, we did something good. We have approval. This is great. And what happens when we do something and then our parents are like, no, put that down. Don't do that. Bad girl, bad boy. And then we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that again. And then sometimes you just don't know what you did wrong, but then your parents just seem to be in a bad mood, but then somehow you made it about you. Because when we were young, we couldn't think otherwise, right? We couldn't think that, oh, it's not my fault, it's my parents, having a bad day. We think that everything is our fault. We think that the world revolves around us, literally, right? When we were young, that is what's shown in psychology. So what happens is that sometimes when we are years later grown as adults, we still take these notions with us. We still take these beliefs with us that maybe I need to be careful. Maybe I need to be acting in a certain way, in a certain box. Otherwise, someone's gonna get upset. Someone's gonna be mad. But I want you to ask yourself, so what if they're mad? So what if they're upset? But what do you want? We spend so many times worrying about what others think, but we don't think about what we think beneath all of this. If someone didn't tell you what your goal in life is, what would be your goal? If someone didn't say this is only that is possible for you, what else would you think that's possible for you? If someone didn't lay out a plan of you need to go to college, you need to get this degree so that you can do this, and then you can marry this, and then you can have this kid, you can have this home, like this car. If someone didn't lay out that plan for you, how would you live your life? How would you think differently? What do you choose to care and not care? What if we were conditioned from birth that other people's opinion doesn't matter? What if our parents reinforce that? What if our friends reinforce that? What if our society reinforce that? That the only thing matters is you, showing up as you, being all of you, shining as you. How much different are we gonna move and act? So this is something that I think about a lot. It's something that I feel into a lot. And the nugget that I want to offer you is, what if? What if none of this really matters? What if the only thing matters is you being happy? Underneath it all, your happiness comes first. Your ability to express yourself to the fullest in this lifetime comes first, because that's why we're here. And sometimes, the things that we do, the people that we choose to love, the food we choose to eat are not that terrible. But for some reason, it's terrible in someone else's eye. What I want to do? Walk around and pretend like we don't like these things and suppress our truest desires and needs? There are people walking around, they are afraid to reveal their true identity, their sexuality, their preferences, because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of being the odd duckling. They're afraid that harm is going to come their way. But what if we as a community, we as human beings, decide to respect who we are? We decide to respect ourselves and accept ourselves so that we can respect others and accept others. We're not here to be like, let's change the way you think. The way you think is wrong. Who are we to say that? We can only be responsible for our own thoughts and our own actions and our own hearts. So actually, when you start caring about yourself, you start caring about what you think, how you truly feel. When you stop delayering all the crap and you tune into what really matters for you, how would you like to live your life from this point? If you were free to choose, how would you like to live this life? What would you do? Who would you become? The questions to set you free. The answers your soul already knew. What will you choose?